Welcome back, only on Fox. Back to our top story in Hart County. An hours-long manhunt is over. We were there the minute the man who was described as extremely dangerous was brought out, loaded into an ambulance, and taken away. This all happened near an elementary school there, South Star, where Larrendick Tabor was caught. Now, school down there was actually canceled today because of this manhunt. We first broke this story last night at 10. He was accused of shooting a man to death on Friendship Road, then stabbing a woman at that same scene. And then last night, as we also broke, that homicide somehow is connected to a homicide in Anderson County. We told you about that upstate case last week. We're talking about Marika Scott. He was found shot to death and then dumped in a retention pond.
And Fox Carolina's Jennifer Phillips has been covering this story for us all afternoon. She's in the Anderson County Sheriff's Office with more information. We're going to give that to you right now. The latest from her, she says investigators at the Sheriff's Office are trying to get more information in Hart County about why deputies there think Tabor is linked to Scott's death. So that manhunt ended after a 12-hour search. This is actually video of Friendship Road in Hart County where investigators say they found Larrendick Alexander shot to death and a woman stabbed. Before the arrest, investigators advised those in the area to lock their doors. And now Hart County Sheriff Mike Cleveland believes Tabor is linked to Marika Scott's homicide. Deputies with the Anderson County Sheriff's Office found 18-year-old Scott shot to death and dumped in a pond behind the old Appleton Mill. We talked with Michael Scott, Marika's father, about Tabor's arrest, and he wants the violence to stop.
I hope he get an investigator some info about my son's murder. I really do. I don't want to see no parents go through that, have to bury their own kid like I did.
They had it blocked off, wouldn't let anybody down, up or anything. I had to come all the way around to get back into my house. I think GBI, State Patrol, Sheriff, even the police was down here, yeah.
So that is Richard Scoggins, a man who lives on Friendship Road. As you can imagine, a very long night for him and other neighbors as they searched for that man for hours. Again, South Hart Elementary, that's right there at the scene. That's where our crew was actually staging last night. They canceled class today because of just how dangerous this guy is. We can confirm that South Hart will reopen tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of folks there are glad this guy is off the streets. Now, still to come at the top of the hour, we have a lot more to get into following this case. We're going to tell you more about that guy and what we know about both of these cases.
And only on Fox, our Michelle Zhu was in Hart County this morning as that manhunt ended, and the man they were looking for was put in handcuffs. She has this report.
Well, law enforcement in the Hart County community finally have closure after nearly 12 hours of being on high alert. Hart County deputies arrested Larrendick Tabor this morning after sheriff says he was wanted for murder. We watched the arrest unfold at the intersection behind me of John W. Jordan Road and Bowman Highway. It happened around 8:30 this morning. Now, the sheriff tells us one of his deputies spotted Tabor walking along the highway. We're told he was carrying a semi-automatic pistol, but the sheriff says it was a peaceful arrest. Now, this 12-hour manhunt started last night after deputies say they found a man shot to death and a woman badly stabbed in a home on Friendship Road. That's just less than 10 minutes from here. Now, the sheriff believes Tabor is behind Marika Scott's death as well. Scott was the young man killed last week in Anderson County. His body was found in a retention pond. But fast forward to this manhunt and to this morning's arrest. The sheriff says it took multiple agencies and 80 law enforcement vehicles to get up to this point. The sheriff tells us Tabor didn't say much other than he had a deep cut on his hand, likely from a knife attack the night before.
That he's lost some blood and getting lightheaded, so he was just ready to give it up. He still had his weapon on him, so we disarmed him. I didn't think it would end this peacefully. I really didn't, but it did. We'll take that every day.
And we watched Tabor get transported to the nearby hospital, and the sheriff tells me he'll go before a magistrate judge within the next 72 hours. And the sheriff also tells me they'll wait for that judge to deny bond before sending him up to Superior Court. But there's still a lot to investigate. You can stay tuned to the Fox Carolina News app for the very latest. Reporting in Hart County, Michelle Zhu, Fox Carolina News.